Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me for today's video. It's going to be another tutorial. Without further delay, let's get into the tutorial. I'm going to start off by using a hand towel that got ruined with Clorox. And next thing I'm going to be using is this lid that came with a takeout container from a restaurant. You don't want your container to be too deep. I wanted it to be shallow because you don't want to get your shoes waterlogged. You just want to get them nice and damp. And obviously you're going to need a pair of red bottoms that already have the sole protectors that you've applied to them. Next, I'm just going to take the edge of the towel and place it in the lid just because it is such a shallow container. And I'm going to take half a cup of warm water and just pour it into the towel until I feel it's reached a good level of depth, but it's not spilling out over the container. That actually looks pretty good. And here's my nosy little baby. Hi, Nosy. Ah! No! Okay, so I have another half cup. And let's see. What I'm just doing right now is I took that half, folded it in half so that I have 2 layers of the towel, and I'm going to add more water now. So now I'm just going to put the toe box inside with the water and just give it a nice press. Okay, now that the shoe is, I guess it's soaked. So let's see what happens here. Here are these tiny lifts already. I'm just slowly, with all the patience in the world, going to peel back on that protector. What I'm noticing here is at the edge of the shoe, it's actually lifting off the red from the sole. So I'm going to concentrate more in the center because I think it's the pull from outer to inner that is creating that. I want it to be from inner to outer so that it pulls down and not away from the sole. Okay, so I've gotten some lifted from the back here. I think I'm going to soak it again. I'm going to pull just a little bit more from the center. See how much I can get. Maybe create a pocket in the center. This is scary because it's lifting right there. Trying to avoid that. All right, let me just cut this right now because I do not want to ruin this shoe. It's interesting. If I press down on the red, it goes back into place. Okay, so now let's get the scissor. Okay, looks like we're getting somewhere. As I'm peeling, I'm making sure that I'm flush with the sole of the shoe. I don't want to peel up, I want to peel flat. Sorry, I'm trying to get this good angle. See this? I'm trying to peel flat. Not like this, like this. And as you can see, I'm pulling flat. Okay, I'm going to keep this part folded flat over. This part that's lifted, fold it over and soak it in the water some more. Have a little drop of water left here and I'll just pour it in. Okay, so we have a portion of that successfully removed. Let it soak a little more. I can see here where a puncture wound might have been made because there's a hole penetrating the film of the shoe all the way to the actual sole. And it lifted just a tad as I was pulling this away. Now what does seem to be lifting away also is the sticker that comes with the shoe. On the right shoe, which also adds, I guess you could say, a hint of authenticity. So if that doesn't bother you, then you could probably go through this process. I don't think there's any way to get around it. This water is definitely helping to remove the sole. Again, I'm pressing my thumb against the sole and pulling back. I'm going to soak some more and repeat this process over and over until I have the entire shoe uncovered. Okay, this side seems to be okay. There's that sticker that comes with the shoe. Unfortunately, that came off. Oh, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm peeling this back. Let's see what I can... Okay, I want to have some patience. I'm getting a little excited here. But if I have some patience, I might be able to salvage this sticker. I ripped it in half. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my viewfinder just to make sure that I was in the middle, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good of the masses, right? I'm still going to peel off the whole thing. You have to be able to have patience, and when you lift a little bit from one edge, work your way along the rest of the edge, and then you can have a better grasp on the full sticker, and then you can peel back. Now, had I been paying attention, I would have been able to do that. And there's the sticker. And here is the protector. Stick that there. Okay. Don't know if you could see that. That's another little poke. Maybe once this is dry, you'll be able to see the pokes better. This is a vlogging camera that I'm using, so there's no focus. I can't focus in and zoom in. I just have to hope that I get good lighting and good angling to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I think I'm running into a situation here. This poke seems to be lifting up the red. Okay, here we go. Here's where I have to be careful. Okay. At the edges where they are lifting, I'm kind of keeping my thumb on the red, original Christian Louboutin red sole, and peeling back very carefully the Zagg sole protector. Let me allow this to soak a little bit and see if I can show you a piece of the red sole that got lifted up. And the reason that happened is because sometimes when you're walking, depending on how smooth your first application is, the less air bubbles you have, the better chance you have of salvaging the sole. But even if you have the tiniest little air bubble, it can create a puncture as you're walking, which will penetrate not only the protector but reach the sole. That one puncture wound, it's like I'm at work. That one minor puncture, I think that's going to cause me a problem. Okay, there we go. That speck right there. I can't seem to work around that. I'm going to soak. I need to do, if I could just hook behind it. So I'm going to try to attempt to go in further and come around behind it so it doesn't interfere with the rest of the shoe. Let's see now. I got my tweezer. Ooh, ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouchie, 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 guys. Some red came off. I mean, honestly, what can you do, right? It was intended for these shoes to wear off, so the fact that I've had these shoes and wore them on, I would say 10 to 12, The material is a little bit rubbery, so you may not have a perfect cut every time. Just keep in mind the most important part to all of this is having patience. If you rush this process and your main objective is to really just salvage the red sole, I highly recommend that you take your time. See, I think I got a little bit anxious too because I was excited that I was actually lifting this off, and which is why I resulted with this little piece of loss right here. But I've learned from that mistake now. I would also recommend for you to have exceptional lighting so that you can see if you're working around any punctures. Okay, great. Now we've worked our way to the edge, and let me get a good profile so you can see how I'm peeling this away so that it's not lifting the red sole. Okay. Pushing through with this little scissor here just to create a nice little division so that I can start pulling from the center outward. You know what? I want to test something here. I'm going to get my fingers wet and just kind of rub along the film. Oh, peeled some more off the very tip. To be expected. And this is the finished product of the shoe after it has been protected. I picked up these shoes in March of 2015. I protected them in April of 2015, and I wore them anywhere from 10 to 12 times. The only imperfections are this tiny peeling here. Well, obviously the pokes that were created from walking on gravel. And at the very tip here, this is actually to be expected. I mean, you are walking from heel to toe, so a lot of the pressure hits the tip of the toe box. So listen, thank you so much for watching. I almost forgot to give you guys an ending. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know if you've had any experiences with the Zagg Invisble Sheild and removal of them. Also, follow me on my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. He always does this at this time of night. Okay, bye guys.